Listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, the 23rd of March, 2026. Yeah, Senators Cypher Monday, fresh edition happening now. Let's fire it up. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Hey, once again, good morning.
Hey.
It is a Monday. Again, it is Monday, the 23rd of March. We're moving right along into spring. I guess we're in spring now, ain't we?
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Right.
The real one.
Appreciate you guys coming on through. And it's a fresh edition. Of course, we start at 8 o'clock today. I'm glad that you guys got that memo. Come on in. 8 o'clock is the time that we do every other week, so we can accommodate the senators who are doing the good work of getting up, getting kids ready for school and whatever, and then getting down to the legislature to do the thing. So,
man, living life.
Yeah, living life. So here we are. We appreciate you guys coming on through and accommodating for us with this special time. Buddy, how you feeling today?
Man, feeling good. I think the hour late start has something to do with that. Helped a little bit. Looking forward to today's conversation. Got some things to touch on. Of course, definitely looking forward to covering the mayor's state of the city. If anybody checked that out, definitely let us know how you're feeling about that situation. I think spring also has something to do. It was a weather-wise a beautiful weekend out here in Atlanta. I think I found myself having one of those days where I'm just in the sun, just smiling, just like it feels like spring, man. The flowers are blooming. The bees are buzzing.
That's right.
It's New Year.
That's what's up. I felt some of that on Saturday myself. I got up to about 93 degrees out here in Nebraska. So, and it was kind of pure sun. It wasn't really too humid. So it was my kind of Cali heat. It felt pretty good.
Man. You always say it's a time when you fall in love with Omaha in the spring.
So fall back in love with. I'd be ready to go in the wintertime. I can hang to the spring.
Yes.
Let us know if you guys are enjoying the weather here, how your weekend was. Of course, we'd like to recap a little bit on the weekend. Let us know how it went down and if you did anything good, fun, important. If you lived alive with one another, if you spent time with fam, let us know. Let us know how things have gone with you. So, appreciate that. We'll go ahead and jump into it. We see RG first in line giving us a morning. Y'all, what's happening to RG?
Hey.
I got to show this picture of RG getting his Thor on.
Come on, man. Come on.
Thor on. Come on, man. RG getting his Thor on. That's what's up.
Health is wealth, brother.
Tell you what, you encouraging me, bro. I'm gonna get back out to that gym myself. I'm gonna have to get on now. I was like, that's what's up, man. Got me hyped.
Yeah, I love to see it.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you. Also, Leia Keister in the chat saying, happy marvelous Monday. Appreciate you, Leia Keister. Of course, want to give everybody a notice on this one. Swing Left Nebraska's got a new episode out, and she put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Appreciate that. Unpacking the unicameral, week 12. So we appreciate you guys continuing on consistently with this show as well. Swing Left Nebraska, get it wherever you get your podcasts. And it's a lot of very instructional, of course, teaching us how this very unique situation we have as far as the unicameral is concerned is going. And of course, we'll be talking to the senators today in detail about some things, but this show gives you some context as well. So definitely check this out when you get a chance. And speaking of shows, while I'm at it, man, the return of Sermon with Sherman is coming. This is coming tomorrow. So get ready tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Get ready to talk to Brother Sherman Wells. Big Sherm.
It's Big Sherm, fool.
Catching up with people. It's going down. Yep. So appreciate that. Appreciate all of you who support all of the News Gang fam as well, man. That's what's up. RG says the temp drop between Saturday and Sunday reminded me of the October 1997 snowstorm. It was, bro. It was the fluctuation. I just like it seems dangerous. It seems dangerous for it to be like 20 degrees one day and 90 degrees the next day. Like, won't stuff break? You know what I'm saying?
So you talked about the 93. What I did hear it was cold. That's what I was hearing.
I don't even remember what it was. The 93 done set my head back straight. So yeah, I just remember it was cold right before that. I mean, right before that.
Mm,
Right before
mm,
that.
mm,
So yeah, rough. Also, Mama Harrison in the chat. Good morning. Says good morning, First Sky family, and happy motivational Monday. Appreciate that. Appreciate
yes,
that.
yes.
Mama God gives us a good morning, fam. Good morning to you. Right on, right on. Cameron Snipes gives us a good morning. Good morning
Hey,
to you as well. Yeah. I hate to start us off in a somber mood, but we do have to make a statement about a brother who passed away in the community that people are grieving. Shout out to Marlon Harrison for putting the picture in, and rest in peace, Terry Grigsby.
yeah, man.
Yeah, we were just talking about this before the show. Not really sure what happened, and I'm finding it. I'm being reminded. It's a hard question to ask when it comes to like what happened to someone. You don't want to just be like, well, what happened?
Hmm.
The news will come out at some point, but if we didn't know him personally, then sometimes we wonder, what went down. But I will say, so many people have put some rest in peace for this brother here. It seems like the community this is another one. Everybody's saying this is a huge loss for the community.
Oh yeah, man.
I didn't know him personally, but I did want to give honor to him. Since so many people, especially in Friends of First Sky Omaha, mentioned that. So, not sure what happened, but rest in peace, Terry Grigsby. I'm learning more about him now because of what everybody's posting. But man,
Yeah, if you don't mind me giving a little context,
please, yeah,
yeah, this is somebody, a brother I did actually go to high school with, so a fellow Viking man. So, although I wasn't personally close with him, we have a lot of mutual friends, close acquaintances. He's actually, I just found out, a cousin of a cousin, so that's kind of some Omaha things for you.
right,
But as far as what I do know about the brother, definitely, as you see, a pillar in the North Omaha athletic community. Of course, very active, Viking athlete himself, but definitely, grew to be a coach in the track and field, football areas. I mean, the Grigsby family alone is a pretty big and well known sports family. Like, we talk about legacy a lot on this show. We both, come from families that have legacies and names, and the Grigsby family is definitely one of those families. A lot of athletes, coaches, just pillars in the community, man. So again, rest in peace to brother Terry, fellow Viking, and yeah, man, just definitely seeing the impact that he had on the community from all the outpouring of posts and love and pictures, and just yeah. Again, not sure what happened, but condolences to the family, and much love to the Grigsby family.
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that definitely. Yeah, I find it the older I get, the more I'm talking about this all the time. It's like I barely even post unless I'm telling people tomorrow ain't promised. Live alive with one another, please.
Yeah,
I hate to be that old dude that's saying that every time I open my mouth, but it's we have so much loss around us all the time, and we're in a constant state of grief with people and friends, family, close ones, people in the community, acquaintances. Ain't nothing more important than spending time with the fam, man, and being around your family and cherishing that small time we have on earth. So yeah. So thank you for letting us know, letting us putting important events like this in Friends of First Sky Omaha. So for those of us that don't know what the situation is personally, be able to spread the word a little bit and bring some honor to some of the folks that meant so much to the community. We appreciate you. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Appreciate you coming in this morning. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. I appreciate you too, and the information that you sent over. Incredible. RG says, "Nah, BZ, we are the old heads. So now, so gotta say it. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I think I want to try to take a different approach to try to do it, to try to show what it means to live live with one
hmm,
another and get together more. Maybe we can try to do that this year too, even with the Chatchimers, even some kickbacks and stuff to get together. But yeah, it's my at one point in about 2 years ago, I was like my Instagram page has turned into like an obituary page. Like everybody
mm,
I'm posting is just people that's passed away in my life. Like can't just dwell on that all the time either. We also got to dwell on being alive, living
yeah.
alive, and doing it with one another. So I'm gonna try to find some balance. But yeah, it is important. It's important for us to keep reiterating. You're right. You're right, RG. I appreciate you. With that, it's 8:10 already, and of course, it's a Monday, so there's not a whole lot of haps going on. But there are the community updates, which we've already kind of dived into. There's a couple more that I'll say before we get to our today's thread. And again, if you're just joining us, we started late today because we have Senator Cypher. We'll be speaking with Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey a little later on in the show, and catching up with them about some of these bills and some of the things that are going on in the legislature right now, too, and questions that we have about a few things as well. So we'll definitely chime up about that here pretty soon. Also, I got a text from the brother over there at Assembly of the Saints. So,
Hey.
yeah, man, and he reminded me about this event that's going on right now. That's actually the last day of it is today. If you haven't been able to go see this brother Joseph Saeed his exhibit, then definitely go check this out. This is the final night over at Assembly of the Saints Gallery, Nebraska, Monday, March 23rd, 6 to 9. Definitely check that out, 4224 North 24th Street if you haven't been over there yet. But from what I saw from the promo, this brother has a serious photography exhibit going on. He's a serious shooter. Definitely go check him out. I'm going to try to get over there myself because I didn't get a chance to go see it either. I wanted to see this. But shout out to Assembly of the Saints for putting the gallery together. Man, shout out to Pastor Ballard for putting the information out there for us to catch this. And let's support this photographer here as well. So, yeah, appreciate that. And again, I appreciate everybody who is posting things in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We're going to be talking about this a little later on the show, but PBS is coming back hard with this. They got a documentary I'll call White with Fear. We're going to talk about this a little later on, but I just wanted to mention it because I want to put it on your mind to go check this out. In the midst of what's been going on with public media and how money has been taken away because of this administration, PBS has suffered greatly when it came to lack of funds and things, and parts of the department shutting down and so on. But PBS still came back hard with this documentary, and they're not slowing down. So shout out to PBS who dropped this, and we'll definitely talk about it a little later on the show, and bring it into context with some of the things we're talking about. And I just want to put it on your head now. Go check it out. Matter of fact, you can go to YouTube. You said it was live on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, like YouTube movies.
Oh, you got to rent it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about it coming up for sure. So anyway, that's what's happening right now, and we appreciate everybody who's joining us this morning. And please, if you have any haps, anything going on this week that you think is important, this is Monday, so we like to set the intention on what it is that we're going to be doing and fighting and working towards and showing up for this week. Let us know as well. Appreciate that. Buddy, let's talk a little bit about today's thread. What's on your mind today? What's happening?
Okay. Yeah, we are still following the money. Of course, it is our Senator Cypher, so I definitely want to speak to our senators about, I believe last time we had them on the show, well, we only had Senator McKinney because Senator Spivey was in the middle of budget debates. So, again, we're now a couple of budget bills later. Definitely want to get a pulse on where we're going as a state as far as our budget. And we'll be looking at that from a few different angles. Actually, we've posed the question here on the show before. Like you talked about, Paul, like your hometown going bankrupt, and what does it mean for a city to go bankrupt? But can a state go bankrupt? What does that look like? What does actually happen when a state is really going broke? So we'll talk about some of those challenges, especially those being posed to our smaller towns and cities throughout the state. Man, it's very interesting. We'll definitely be talking about that and some of the markets that are feeling the brunt of some of these economic decisions here in the area as well. Also looking at some of the national news, of course, looking at what's going on with this TSA situation. We'll definitely have to talk about that. Man, everybody being impacted by travel. Of course, people still in the mix, possibly going back home from spring break travel and things like that. Yeah, well, there's a lot more to it that we have to dive into as far as, again, ICE taking over for TSA. So we'll dive into that. Also locally in our own backyard, of course, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but Mayor Ewing had his a state of the city address again on Friday. Would definitely love to hear from those who check that out. If you're able to make it down and speak to the mayor, shake his hand, or if you just stayed at home and watched it and listened to it online, let us know what you think about that. We'll definitely be diving into some of his plans, and it's kind of putting people on blast a little bit, putting people on the hot seat if you will. So we'll definitely talk about some of the ideas and some of the things coming from that. And as Paul mentioned, it is Monday, so we are setting our intentions for the week. I definitely want to dive into tomorrow's city council agenda. There's some things to touch on, some things to look out on, and if you can make it, definitely some things to listen out for, if you will. So and definitely talking about that and more throughout the next couple of hours. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not touching on, feel free to let us know. Make sure I'm not, burying the lead on a couple things. Of course, we definitely want to talk to our senators about some bills. Looks like Senator McKinney is getting some wins on his bed bug bills. So we'll definitely be talking about housing in many, many facets, actually. So, yeah, again, it is still Follow the Money, Season 4B. We're still chatting live with you. So again, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, we're right on time, man. Just about 15 minutes into this thing. Paul B.
Yep.
What's the word?
Appreciate that. I appreciate everybody coming in. Sean McCarthy is giving us a morning First Sky team and Chimers. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Absolutely. Marlon Harrison says, I went to the pizza machine on Friday with the kids, and before RG asked, I had 3 plates. Said what do you say? The Somalian community was deep at the pizza machine due to Ramadan. Okay.
Hey, I was gonna say that. That was a part of my weekend also. So Eid Mubarak to all of those celebrating now the Islamic month of Eid. But yeah, beautiful thing. Ramadan is over. Spirits are good. Yeah. And Somalian community getting a big win over the past week or so, as far as Trump trying to block their I believe asylum status, and the judge said not so fast, my friend. So Somalians are getting a win in the courts recently. Speaking of court wins,
that's what's up.
Yeah,
right on. And shout out to the three plate crew as well.
Hey, Marlon already knew.
RG says, yeah, man, I thought I was gonna do some traveling this year. That's dead now, bro. Same here, bro. I'm looking at changing the tires on the car because I'm about to get on the street if I'm gonna go anywhere this year. I don't know if I'm gonna hit the airline. We'll be talking about it.
I don't know, man. The way these gas prices might need an electric scooter out here. It's getting crazy.
Go on walkabout like Kang from Kung Fu.
Man.
We'll get out of here. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate everyone coming in. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into the conversation. Again, if you're just joining us, it's a special time that we started. We're going 8 to 10 today so that we can accommodate the senators for the Senators Cypher, Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Ashley Spivey. We'll be checking in with them a little later on the show, so get your questions ready. And, man, this fight for some of these bills that's happening right now is getting heated.
Man.
Put them
on.
Talk about it. We got to talk about it. Shout out. We'll take a quick break, come back. We are for First Sky Omaha in the morning. That's what we are.
In the morning.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Untamed. Wake up. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we losing, the drugging and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth. We moving in stealth. Milking the game till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with the mission. Man, we tired of listening, so we standing up. Unification amongst us. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Yeah. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In
And it fired up with Brother Wells, Big Sherm.
Big Sherm, fool.
Telling us to wake up, man. It's going down.
Wake up.
You know, this is Monday. We got some messages of positivity. It's time to wake up, stay woke. Like Cat Williams says, the last I heard, the opposite of woke is sleep. Who want to stay asleep?
Hey, I heard sleep was a cousin of death, and I'm trying to live.
Man.
Well.
While we got words of affirmation, just remember, Mija, if a tortilla can rise, so can you.
Message.
Straight up, always.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Again, appreciate you guys coming in. I hope that Monday is treating you well. I do have to admit that hour later start does bring a little bit of energy that has sometimes lacks on a Monday morning. So I will put the survey back out there right now. We at 6-4. People like 8 o'clock instead of
Let us
7.
know. Let us know.
So I'll put it out there. Which we'll keep on doing. I'll do an official survey if I have to. Which one do you like?
Hey,
We certainly could use coming in a little bit later. But if we're not catching you, we're trying to catch you on the time that you can listen and you can participate. So we got to leave it to the Chatchimers too. Right now, 6 yes, 8 o'clock, 4 no. Wants to keep it at 7. Let us know. Let us continue that conversation as we go as well. In the meantime, between time, listen. Who said corn? RG says he like 11-1. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You really want us
Midday.
awake? We be awake by 11 o'clock for real.
Yeah, midday.
Lunchtime, live in it. That's what's up.
Right.
Let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. We appreciate you guys coming through, buddy. What's first on the agenda today?
Yeah, pick up where we left off on Friday with Mayor Ewing's State of the City address. Again, let me know if you had opportunity to check it out. I was not able to check it out myself, but I'm hearing good things. A lot of positive feedback to some of the plans, some of the ideas, some of the approaches from Mayor Ewing. And let's go ahead and dive into it. He kind of laid out this first address of the mayor's first black mayor of Omaha, laying it out and pretty much sounding like it's focusing on the people. City Parks Initiative. It was one of his first addresses. Of course, we've seen some of the moves. There's been a lot of conversation around Miller Park and the partnership between the city and Logier Foundation, and he seems like he wants to double down on that move, saying that he will assess $5 million in needs for the city parks. Again, properly budgeting for basic park operations and maintenance of the city's 250 parks. He also highlighted tens of millions of dollars already being invested in park improvements, including $45 million upgrade at Levi Carter, also improvements at Boyd Field and a new soccer complex at Tranquility Park. Also, some of the top priorities, of course, housing. One of the main things that Mayor Ewing kind of addressed in many facets. Of course, laying out a plan for using and diverting some funds to build affordable housing, as he's calling it. I know we're not high on that terminology, but let us know what you think about the plan. Again, on Friday, Mayor Ewing announced a plan to use $40 million from the streetcar bonds to fund Front Porch Investments creation of such housing in the city's urban core as far as affordable housing. Also, the city is able to use about $20 million in ARPA funds for affordable housing preservation, and another 14.2 of those funds are going to about 568 units. So again, let us know what you feel as far as affordable housing. Is that enough? A lot of money, about 60 million if my calculations are correct. This is not in the article, but if you did watch the address, there was also a plan that Mayor Ewing kind of rolled out that was interesting in using some opioid funds for some homelessness program. Shout out to friend of her, Sky Tamara Dwyer, possibly getting some funds and some help to do her job a little more. Again, there's been a lot of conversation, a lot of movement as far as houselessness in Omaha and our houseless brothers and sisters. Again, the encampments has been something that has been moving forward. Mayor Ewing is saying that has been a success, but still a lot of work to be done. So again, shout out to Tamara Dwyer and the work that she's already doing, and maybe again having the opportunity to engage some partners the partners Heart Ministries out there that are also doing the good work to actually get some real change and get some real help for our brothers and sisters facing homelessness out there in the Omaha area. Also, infrastructure. A few things that he addressed, of course, kind of talking about the streetcar project, which has been impacting the city in many ways, not just, of course, the business community along that corridor, as we talked about, but there's a lot of back and forth we haven't really talked about as far as the sewer and some of the utilities in that area. If you remember early on in the streetcar project, MUD had a lot to say about that situation. Mayor Ewing basically saying all that is improving as far as infrastructure goes. Also talking about repairing potholes, so looking out for better street conditions in the future. And of course, talking about crime and police. Still a debate about diverting some city funds to hiring more police. That is still also a topic of conversation. And a few of those things will actually be debated in tomorrow's city council meeting. So we'll kind of get into that here in a second. But out of everything I laid out, I see a few people chiming up. Paul, I know you have some thoughts about some of the plans out there. What say you?
Yeah, a lot actually. I found it pretty interesting. This idea of I feel like one of the things that he does is maybe it's because of him, doing the treasury stuff before, but he likes to figure out how to take money from one thing and put it to another thing,
Mm-hmm.
which I found pretty interesting to try to figure out how to get things paid for. And he always comes up with these really kind of interesting solutions to how to where to do that, how to do that, and how to move some things around. So the thing that stuck out to me was this money, this permanent housing money from the opioid settlement, and we had to kind of look and see what that opioid settlement was.
Yep.
Because I thought that was pretty interesting. It's something that I hadn't really heard of before. And from what I understand, with that situation, this is how the mayor kind of works with saying, here's the ideas. I'm gonna put this idea out here, and then people gonna have to come back and follow through on some of these ideas here. So I thought that was pretty interesting how he strategically put that out there. I actually talked to Tamara Dwyer from the mayor's office, saying that looking forward to that. There's been some hiring and stuff that's been happening in that department, especially. And it looks like, and I'm seeing a little bit closer, like how much work it's actually taking to take care of this problem. Need some help over there, so to be able to come up with some money in order to put a staff together and things like that will means a big difference will be made there for sure. But also, I've been kind of reading people's reactions too. I've been hearing people in Friends of First Sky Omaha and other places react to what the mayor has to say. I still have a lot of questions about what full staffing of the police means. We always,
Yeah.
we know that we're going to have to address that question too. But there's been more police hired, which is always presented in this positive light, and to some of us, it don't feel that positive. To be having more police out doing the policing, but talking to Mayor Ewing, he's got this plan of that the neighborhood policing means to have more police on the force to be able to engage with the people and not be stretched so thin, and that was the point there. But it was a really interesting address. I actually did listen to it live when it was going down, and had a couple mental notes on what it is that I thought was pretty interesting, what it is I had a problem with. You're not going to agree with everything somebody lays out, but I thought the address was good. He has some very strategic things in there to be said about it. One of the things that I'm thinking about right now that he talked about was making sure that the parks stay private. I think Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat is talking about selling our parks to private family foundations is not the move at all. It's austerity to account for the bloated police budget. I don't know, bro. I think we done a little research on that and dug in and asked some questions. I don't know if you got that all the way right there. It's not a selling to the private families. The Logier family is helping with some of the things that are needed at the park, but the park's still staying private. So I appreciate that. Also, I wanted to, when I was thinking about this, when you said that a term we don't like to use, affordable housing, I was thinking Anthony Rogers Wright teaching us about the term low income and moderate income families, units for them. So I appreciate you reminding us about that. He says none of this matters until there's a uniform definition of affordable housing. Reform the TIF process that require at least 20% of units for low income and moderate income families. Yeah, I feel like we're on that track definitely. And he is talking about doing some reform for that TIF stuff too. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I'm actually right. Let's pick it up right there because I'm glad you mentioned that, Brother Anthony Rogers, right? Because it seems like Mayor Ewing has been listening. I don't know you or somebody in the office or who he's been listening to, but he is definitely responding to that point directly. According to the WOWT article, Mayor Ewing said the city will also look at using TIF to bring about more affordable housing units, promising the proposed changes will be announced in the next 6 months. So again, this is a part of a more robust plan for, again, I know we don't like the terminology, but the affordable housing, again, and more variations of it, especially as inflation, of course, and wage stagnation set in, some of the things that Mayor Ewing addressed directly. And actually, kind of similar to what I want you to talk more about the opioid move, Paul, because it is interesting. I'm kind of seeing a similar move with this TIF process because as you know, Mayor Ewing made the announcement on Friday. We'll get in. Excuse me. We'll get into it here in a second. But of course, tomorrow, Omaha City Council will be meeting and having their Their agenda has been rolled out, and on that agenda is, I believe, it's agenda item number 38. They're going to be addressing and voting on how to, reshape and reform the tip situation and to better use it for quote unquote affordable housing. So again, kind of seeing the wheels of democracy turn a little faster in the local, on the local arena, as far as Mary Ewing putting out the call for TIF to be reshaped, reformed, and now hopefully City Council responding. And now you have opportunity to show up tomorrow and let your thoughts be known on that as well.
Yeah, is anybody planning on going up to City Council tomorrow? Let us know if you're going up to testify or to be a part of it. Definitely would love to know that. Yeah, I was trying to look and see where you were reading from when it came to what was going on with that opioid settlement. In order to dig into that a little bit, it's talking about monies received into state's opioid recovery fund. What was that recovery fund again? Do you still have that handy?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah. So the Opioid Recovery Fund stems from Nebraska's Opioid Prevention and Treatment Act, which was an act that was passed in 2020. It's LB 1124. The Opioid Prevention and Treatment Act. The purpose of the act is to provide for the use of dedicated revenue for opioid disorder related treatment and prevention. This is actually coming from a national fund, which you're aware Nebraska is receiving about $150 million from the national opioid settlements. So again, these are settlements that class action lawsuits that were settled with, the Sacklers and all these major pharmaceutical companies that were again pushing these opioids and kind of again from that settlement. 150 million of those dollars are being directed to Nebraska. A portion of that is going to Omaha, and that is the allotment that again Mary Ewing is possibly going to use, trying to use for houselessness programming.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, I just found stuff like that he talked about pretty strategic and learning, and then of course learning about where are these funds. I've never even heard of that fund before, in particular, and that kind of made it be like, okay. So first of all, there's this money, and again, it's kind of his style. It seems like to say, we can take this money. There's some excess over here. We can use this, and we can turn that into that. Move that around. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think that it's in the right direction because of the fact that the Tamara Dwyer from the mayor's office comes on and is a Chatchimer. As somebody who talks to us about the job, we kind of understand how much more manpower is needed in that team of people that are trying to help this crisis happen. And of course, with manpower, to have manpower, you have to find funds to pay that manpower. So I just think that was interesting, strategically what it is that he was doing there. There's a lot of other things too. I highly encourage you to go back and check it out. I think WWT broadcast that live, and they still have it on their website to check out the whole speech. Because what I keep finding is every time I go through it, each line is addressing something particularly. It's very meticulous with the address, and each line is answering a question or covering a question that we've had over time on the show, and including stuff like the meeting with the people over there in the streetcar area who are having issues with people being able to get to their business. They formed a group. They've chimed up. They've asked the mayor to chime in on that. And from what I understand about the mayor's office, they kind of got into motion to try to figure out what they can do to help early on. And then now he's reporting that he met with them. And so, yeah, definitely doing some listening and not just listening, but meeting and talking and trying to come up with some plans. And we're in the early stages of some of the plans. So we'll see if they pan out later. But I think it's pretty interesting for sure. Tamara Dwyer is in the chat, as a matter of fact. Appreciate you coming in. She said there's a state website with information about all the opioid settlement funds in Nebraska. Appreciate that. Housing is prevention. That's right. House people. Got to house them.
I'm glad she said that because I did want to comment on that before we get off of the subject as far as the move from the mayor to not necessarily divert, but to just use these opioid funds for this because we've seen, kind of similar diversion, I'll say, on the state level of, funds being pulled from veterans and funds being pulled from like actual cuts, funds being taken away from people that need them to be applied to other things. And this feels less like that and more like an actual creative use of, like she says, this is for opioid addiction. housing is prevention. So this is not, taking something from somebody who actually needs it to divert it to something else that they might not need as much. This is actually being creative in the use of the funds and saying, hey, housing is a part of this. Let's help these people put these funds towards housing and, apply it in this way. So I just wanted to point that out in the difference as we're seeing cuts at the state level, which we'll talk about a little later on in the show and how that's different.
Mm-hmm. Housing is prevention and harm reduction. I think that's
there you go.
important to know. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll be keeping our eye on that and a few other things. For those of you that checked out the address, let us know. We did have a couple people that are kind of friends of First Sky Omaha that put their own personal take out online. So if you've done that too, please let us know. Put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha. If you had a review of what it is that you heard or some things that stood out, I think that this is an important one to kind of make sure that we dig into, study, and either get some questions, answers, or derive some new questions, whatever it is that we need to understand about what happened here. But I've seen a whole lot of State of the Union addresses and state of the state addresses, state of the city. And I didn't put too much thought into it in the beginning. And then when I watched it live, I thought, oh, okay, so this is the opportunity to address some of the things we've been talking about for months now. And people have been addressing for a long time. So you want me to put this in friends?
Yeah. Just as we kind of wrap up, we'll be posting the city council agenda for tomorrow. Again, if anybody's planning on checking it out, a few of these things that we're talking about will be addressed. So you'll have your opportunity to have your concerns and have your 2 cents on it, not just TIF being used for affordable housing, but also something dealing with the Cinco de Mayo parade as far as the route for it. And then this is something we're not really talking about too deeply, but a design and construction of a portion of Omaha's bikeway project. I kind of just on a side note, as I'm preparing for the show, I saw on the national level, looks like Trump is trying to take funds, speaking of making cuts, from some of the bike trail funds and a lot of the funds that states are using to make their bike trails and walking trails and things like that. The funds are being taken from that. So again, it's kind of something interesting. Again, if you're planning on making it to city council meeting, have your voice be heard, let your mind be free. Check it out. There is the agenda in the chat.
There you go. There's also a survey that the mayor talked about as well. I'm about to put that in the chat. Yeah, he spoke about a survey during his speech where you can kind of chime in on a lot of that too. So I highly encourage you to hit that wemake.omaha.gov event survey. Check that out, fill that out, and get to it. There's a public survey. There's a postcard survey that's part of this too. If you received a postcard, then there's the survey. There's the portal for you to do that. And if you did not receive a postcard, there's also a public button you can hit too to do the public survey, and definitely check that out as well. It helps guide the future of our city's growth and development. It's about a 12-minute survey, so definitely check that out. And again, as you see, we got a mayor that's taking a look at some things and listening this time around. So I highly encourage you to do that. Speak up, because you will be heard.
There you go.
There you go. It's about 8:38 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and jump back into the conversation. We're anticipating our special guest. This is Senator Cypher Monday. That's why we started late. We're going from 8 to 10 today. And I will be talking to Senator McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey shortly. So get your questions ready for them. And also bills. There's people that send me information on bills all the time. Now, of course, they send stuff to First Sky Omaha like, you guys need to spread the word that this is happening and let people know they need to call their senators and vote against this or vote for that. So we have to get into some of those things. And if we now that we have the senators coming on, we'll be talking to them about it as well.
Actually, on that note, when we come back, we'll jump in, kind of stick on the housing conversation and talk about a bed bug bill that Senator McKinney has pushing forward, and dive into this national bill, this housing bill we haven't really talked about too much. But while we're on the topic, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let the people know what's going on.
With that, we'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B.
Hey.
Buddy to God.
Hey.
We're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God. Appreciate you guys. We didn't ask you guys to share the show this morning. I forgot to do that early on, but share the show. If you're on Facebook, share it on your page and letting people understand that it's going on live right now. If you're on YouTube, do us a favor and share the link to anybody who you consider would be a good candidate for them to come in, have a conversation, be part of the conversation, be part of the Chatchimers. And if you're a ghost listener, we appreciate you as well. Appreciate everybody who is on the move this morning, but still tuning in and chiming up when they can. I appreciate you very much. And monitoring spirits as well. We appreciate you too for checking it out. We see you seeing us, seeing you seeing us. That's what it is. Appreciate that. Before we get moving on, Grandma is playing tomorrow. Film Stream. Shout out to Film Streams, our new partners over there. Providing this third space where they show a film and have a talk afterwards, so that you can kind of discuss some of the issues of the film. This is a good way to talk about current issues and things that are happening with experts in the field. And this is no doubt they're going to do this again tomorrow. This is happening. Grandma is playing over at the Ruth Sokoloff Theater. That's the Film Streams Theater that's over there by North Downtown. It's going to be happening at 6:30 tomorrow, so definitely get your tickets. Got a few people that are going to that are in the running here for these 2 free tickets, but they're still available. So put your name in the hat over here for that by going to YouTube and liking, subscribing over there, and then letting us know that you did so by sending us an email to firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. Let us know, and we'll pick the winners tomorrow on as far as the tickets are concerned, to see who's going to win the 2 tickets to go check out Grandma tomorrow at 6:30. So appreciate that. Looks like, there you go. Yeah, this will be something else. They kind of came on and talked about this movie here and some of the premise behind it, and some of the experts that they'll be talking to as well a little later on. So we'll dive into it a little bit later, but just wanted to make sure that you guys knew the contest is still on. Put your name in the hat, and we'll announce a winner tomorrow before the movie. So tomorrow morning. Yep, appreciate that.
Y'all want to go see Grandma?
Go see Grandma. Go see Grandma tomorrow night.
Check it out.
You don't see that Grandma, see your grandma tomorrow night.
Hey, there you go.
If you can, man, appreciate you. Let's go ahead and jump back into the conversation. Again, we're highly anticipating our senators coming in a little bit later on the show, so stay tuned for that and get your questions ready. In the meantime, we got some things that we're going to build up to be able to ask them when they get here. Where are we going with this, buddy?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick it up right there with some of the wins on Friday from Senator McKinney, who's got his sleeves rolled up and he's waist deep in this fight for fair housing. So again, big shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, always fighting for the people. And he says that apparently the legislature has found a good compromise, according to Senator McKinney, in regards to his bed bug bill, the latest version of which is creeping forward through the committee. And the measure is a part of a multi-bill package actually championed by the Nebraska Legislature's Urban Affairs Committee, which again easily advanced to a second round of debates. Again, Senator McKinney, who is a sponsor of the bill and of course represents North Omaha, where most of the housing in question is located. Let's just be honest. He says, I think it's a good compromise. Of course, talking about the proposal rooted in bed bugs, but also addressing, of course, other public housing concerns. He says, I definitely would like to further hold OHA accountable, but you fight your battles, and sometimes you have to know when to say, okay, we can get this much, and maybe next year we can come back and try to get something more. So again, being strategic, playing 4D chess, as we like to call it. But of course, we all know the issue, of course, public housing in shambles in Omaha. McKinney has been pushing for legislation that forces the housing authority of the state's most populous city to take additional actions to improve conditions for low-income public housing residents, which, again, there was actually a class action lawsuit filed last year. OHA leaders have insisted throughout the past few years that the agency has taken multiple steps to get rid of the hard-to-eliminate pests, talking about, of course, bed bugs. But, of course, there's a lot of question on what they have done and the measures that they have taken on the earlier version of the bill, which, of course, included OHA reporting, disclosure, and inspection requirements. McKinney says he believes the latest proposal still would accomplish his goal of improving conditions for residents. On Friday, of course, McKinney said during a legislative debate that recent conversations with Governor Pillen's office did lead to some of those compromises, but the city of Omaha also has raised objections with the city attorney Matt Hughes saying the housing authority is a separate legal entity and that any additional oversight or regulation should be by the legislature and not the city. So of course there's still a fight ahead as far as getting, somebody to be held accountable for this. It kind of sounds like a lot of plausible deniability. It's not the city's job. OHA is it's not their job. So yeah, again, big shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney for pushing this line, and it actually looks like he may be getting some help in the form of a federal housing bill. Of course, we haven't really talked about it too much, but in the last couple of weeks, there was a bipartisan bill passed through the Senate. Of course, across, a pretty wide margin, 89-10 was the vote on the bill, which would reduce regulations, regulate corporate investors, and expand how housing dollars can be used to build affordable housing and rentals. It will now head back to the House, which passed a similar bill earlier this year. But of course, it still is a question or whether or not the House will pass this current iteration of the bill, and of course, whether or not it will make it across Trump's desk. So here we are as far as the housing situation. A lot of fighting, but more fighting ahead. So what say you, Paul? What say you, chat? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely want to put out to the chat. What say you on this issue? Shout out to it was the Nebraska Examiner that put the article out about this.
Yep.
You read from? Yeah, they're the ones that put this ugly picture out here with this creature. Yeah, it just reminds me of the problems that we've been talking about here for the past couple of years. Of course, who is to blame? Who needs to do something about it? It doesn't even matter who's to blame. Who needs to do something about it?
That part.
Who needs to fix this situation for folks? It's an easy thing as far as we're concerned to say. We're not in the mix, but it's an easy thing for us to say. If this is public housing, if this is from the city, if this is from the state, they need to handle the whatever infestations that happen inside of a place and keep the building where it needs to be, just like anybody who owns a building would do. If I own a house and there's termites in the house, I'm not going to leave it up to the tenants to get rid of the termites. I'm going to have to come in and do something about it. So that's easy to say, but who knows where that stands. But what I will say about this, what's standing out to me right now, is that I appreciate Senator McKinney in the fight for this, and also giving us the updates. We have the luxury of being able to have them come on to the show like they will a little bit later on in the broadcast. And we can ask them directly, but when we're not, he's doing a really great job of putting out his legislative updates. And I highly encourage you go to Senator Terrell McKinney's Facebook page and what other social media platforms that he's on to look at this, because he's gotten a pretty extensive updates on some of these bills that have been important to us. I know that he listens to some of the things that we've been talking about, but he's also paying attention to what's happening in the legislature. And he's doing in anybody else that comes to him saying what things are important as well. And he's putting this out. So I highly encourage you to go to Senator Terrell McKinney's page. He's and he's got this District 11 legislative updates that you can check in and find out what's going on here on that. But again, we'll be talking to him a little bit later on this. I think it's interesting that, even during this follow the money season, we still talk about housing. It's so intertwined and tied to our economics. And what it is that we got to do when it comes to housing. So very interesting stuff for sure. Appreciate that. Tony Johnson in the chat is saying article mentioned 90% of OHA funding is federal, implied that failing inductions jeopardizes funding. Stay on their necks by increasing inspection schedule should be option considered. I like that. Stay on their neck on that one.
Yeah, man.
Definitely try to make sure that we hold them accountable on that. Got to stay on them. As we said, we've been talking about this for years now, but there's not been a whole lot of, every time it comes up now, it has something to do with them evicting people and, all these other moves that have been made. So, got to stay on their neck. I appreciate that sentiment for sure, Brother Johnson, in big time. Anybody else that has any comments on this, let us know, put it in the chat. And if we're not live, you can always put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha, which is our group page over on Facebook. Appreciate that. I just want to give a quick shout out to Shelly Mann, who's in the chat right now. She says, I'll be on the panel after the film from the Nebraska Abortion Research Resources. Nebraska Abortion Resources. This is what I'm talking about, man. Film streams with this third space that has these topics in the form of films that you get to watch and enjoy. And then they have panels of experts that we got one right here in the chat. An expert is going to be on the panel talking about the issues of the film and you'll be able to find out where Omaha kind of stands and what's going on here in Omaha with the people
Man.
who are experts in the field. So appreciate you chiming up there and letting us know. Again, Grandma is playing tomorrow, March 24th, 6:30 at Ruth Sokoloff, and you can watch the film and then stay after for the talk. And as you see, we have somebody in the chat saying that they're one of the experts that's going to be on the panel. So that's great.
Man.
I really love that. Thank you.
Most informed chat, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks.
Love that. New
Yeah.
name too on the channel, so that's great. Donnell Sessions gives us a good morning. Appreciate that very much. He says it's a great film too. Hey, anything Lily Tomlin is in has got to be good.
Yeah.
One of the greatest actresses of all time, underrated as far as I'm concerned. So
Man. And the young sister playing her granddaughter, young lady playing her granddaughter. She's been in a couple films too. She got some chops, got some acting chops.
Pop's always talking about her in Ozarks. How good she was in that film.
Yeah.
What's her name? We got to find out about her. Do a little bit more research. There are some good up and coming people as well. If you can hang with Lily Tomlin, then there you go in the first place.
Check it out. Check it out. Film streams.
Appreciate you guys. 8:51 right now. Again, we're anticipating our talk with the senators coming up. Senator Ashley Spivey, Senator Terrell McKinney. So we have a few bills and things like that we've been talking about. But we might have to jump to some other stuff. Where are you at right now, buddy, on the list?
Oh man, we right in the thick of it, man. We sticking with it. You kind of touched on it a little bit ago as far as the connection. Why we talk about housing, especially in the season, so much. Spent pretty much the whole first hour talking about housing, but it matters, especially when you're following the money and talking about again building financial freedom, financial structure. If you don't have a roof over your head, that's a lot of stress. A lot of that's a slippery slope into not being financially free. But if you can secure some housing. That's definitely plays a big role. But I do want to talk about just the financial health of the state in general. The budget is definitely another issue that we'll have to speak to our senators about here. And we've been posing the question, and we're getting close to the second hour. So I do want to kind of open it up a little bit. Let your mind be free, Paul. Let your mind be free, chat, and let us know what you think about some of these things. Because what I'm seeing is writing on the wall is not looking good. It seems like a lot of these economic decisions are not really taking us in the right direction. And some of the answers that are seemingly on the table, they're slow walking. Before I get into even really analyzing what's going on with the budget, I do want to talk about another bill as far as the medical marijuana situation, because this is something that, again, we've been talking to the senators about as far as really several years ago. Senator, if you remember, Senator Wayne was the one that really tipped us off that we were going to be in this position before we got in this position. He was like, yeah, by the way, the state's going broke. And we were like, wait, what? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? And now here several years later, a whole nother senator later, the state is going broke.
Wow.
And the things that were proposed back then as far as legalization of marijuana, the people have voted for it, and they're still slow walking. So this is being reported by Nebraska Examiner as far as there has been a bill passed that would kind of clear the path to at least allow doctors to recommend medical marijuana. Again, there's a bill passed by shout out to Senator John Kavanaugh and the Kavanaugh family of Omaha, who introduced LB 933, which again aims to protect medical providers from prosecution, which is crazy when you think about it, for recommending medical marijuana or medical cannabis to their patients. Again, saying that's really all this does. This is a protection to make doctors not afraid that they will lose their license just for the act of recommending something that the people have already voted for, which is, again, crazy when you think about it. Kavanaugh goes on to say the ballot initiative passed a year and a half ago. This is the law in the state of Nebraska. We have heard not a single doctor has made a recommendation to date. The only folks who have medical cannabis recommendations have gone out of state, have gone to out of state doctors. Now, of course, there's still fights to be had as far as, legalizing marijuana and the state actually trying to make money from this thing. Seems like, again, all the decisions are costing us except for locking people up. But there still is also a voter-approved Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission who is, again, tasked with overseeing, regulating this whole system, but they have not been given teeth as there has been no real legislation to set up this process of regulation or any functional system for the committee to basically operate on. There is a bill that is kind of in the balance, LB 1235. The bill will give the Regulatory Commission the ability to set fees and raise revenue while funding set aside from LB 1071's budget adjustments expected to pass next week. So again, one of the main solutions for the cities or for the state's budget woes, of course, is being slow walked and kind of undermined at every turn, if you will. So here we are, as far as some of the plans to improve the state's budget or a state's economic health, if you will, and it's actually going in the wrong direction as far as some of our main industries in trouble, and I'll break that down here in a second. But as far as the medical marijuana situation, chat, I know you had some things to say, Paul. You might have some thoughts. What do you say?
Just simply, the thing that keeps standing out to me is that this is because of the fact that we've been doing this now. We've been on here doing this about 5 years now. So
Yeah, man.
3 years ago, these votes came up and everybody voted a certain way. So the fact that it's we have a situation in our leadership here where it kind of feels like it disregards what it is that people vote on, and they come back and try to sneak some things in and all that according to what they think is right. Even to the point of Pillin hinting that we don't know what we're talking about. They got to come in with this paternalism and make sure that it goes the way they think it needs to go. He likes to reference a lot of good and evil all the time. He likes to reference God and Satan all the time. You guys voted on this, but you were wrong. So we need to do something about changing this up. And everybody who follows that seems to get down on that. So I can't help but go there because we are here to say be a part of the solution to changing the political environment around you, the things that affect you personally, and that requires you to kind of be a part of it. Go out here, advocate, vote, do all the things that you got to do in order to be able to change some of these things that affect you directly. You go out here and do that, and then you got an administration that tells you, nah, you're wrong. We're gonna disregard that you said that. I can't get off of that point. I can't even get on to whether or not the medical cannabis is this or that. I do have a little bit of thought on that too. It's just like how are you going to be penalizing, criminalizing doctors and stuff for even suggesting it is crazy. So all that part is crazy. But also, it should have been taken care of because the people already spoke up on this.
That part, and that's the real part, man. Like just the constant undermining of the will of the people. Like the people voted on this, and then you're acting like, and before the people voted on it, the elected officials, like it goes through many processes before the people have to vote on it, before it gets to a ballot initiative. And the fact that the people voted on it, and now here we are years later, slow walking, and the fact that this could actually help the state, like it makes no sense. Ariel's 402, shout out to the mayor checking in. Talking about Ricketts, he says Prickett is stalling so he can invest in cannabis manufacturing before it's not criminalized. Follow the money. Interesting.
That sounds like a billionaire move.
It does. It really does. Kind of like legislators suggesting data centers on land that their family owns, that kind of stuff.
Just to give you an example here on Senator Terrell McKinney's newsletter here, he says, contact our office if you have any questions. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. This is not the one I was trying to pull up. He has an update. Here it is. This is the one I'm looking for. He has updates on that. There's a process, like, buddy, you're talking about this process that happens. So it's not just you go vote and then it's done. I mean, the legislators have listened to the people, first of all, and then went and pushed these things, created these bills. Here's a breakdown of some of the bills that are what he's calling committee updates. So they got to go through. They got to go through committee. This is not just you put a bill out, they vote on it right away. Sometimes this stuff takes years. As a matter of fact, the cannabis one did take years to get to the point where it got through committee and everything else to get to the vote to the people. People voted, and then all that work is down the drain because they want to go back on what it is that people voted on. It's kind of insane to me. When you like the process is kind of crazy. So just too interesting. Anthony Rogers Rice says medical MJ sales by law are supposed to commence in July. Like I said, it's been voted in.
It's the law, bro. And they don't want to follow it, but want to act like people doing simple things are just the biggest criminals. It's mind boggling. It's mind boggling.
He's also saying it's just so ignorant from economic context. Nebraska lawmakers want the state to be more in debt. It seems. It
So
like
let's go ahead and dive into that, man. Now that we're now at 9 o'clock, officially in the second hour here on First Guy Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Hey, there you go, Paul. You got a chance. But yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. Like it really is crazy. Some of the decisions, and these are billionaires making these decisions, and we call them Trump Jr. because again, the notion that these multimillionaires and billionaires just have automatically all this business sense and can make us all this money, it just seems so farce.
You said something earlier about the state going bankrupt, and we last time we were looking at that, we were like, can the state go bankrupt? Well, we did the research and found out no, a state can't go bankrupt.
No, it can't.
The same way the city can, but the state is not is the government. It is a government, so it's a different status. So when you think about that, like how can you go broke but also can't go bankrupt at the same time? Like,
well, let's talk about what that looks like. I'm glad you asked that question because according to an article from KMTV3, it means that our taxes go up and smaller cities lose their funding altogether. Again, yeah. Headline reads: Nebraska budget shortfall could cut funding to smaller cities, raise taxes for residents. Again, as lawmakers are working to close a budget shortfall of more than $100 million, one proposal could pull funding from first-class cities, which means communities with populations between 5,000 and 100,000 people could be getting a haircut, losing considerable amount of funding and cuts to police staffing, higher property taxes, and increased fees for residents. For instance, the city of Schuyler said it was initially expected to lose nearly $1 million under the proposal. A city official said police departments are among the first areas to feel impact when municipal funding is reduced. Laura Johnson of the city of Schuyler says, our police chief has been looking at a staffing, so we might be able to make adjustments that way. Also, after recent amendments to the proposed bill, the amount Schuyler could lose has been reduced to approximately 60,000. But at the state capitol, advocates for smaller communities say the broader math still raises concerns. So again, that's just one anecdote as far as Schuyler, Nebraska. But let's really look at the full picture of what many smaller cities are actually feeling the brunt of in this economic downfall in our state. Because how are cities, definitely some of these smaller cities propped up? What industries do they rely on to pay their bills? Agriculture. And how is the agricultural state in Nebraska? Let's just look, for instance, at beef. We've been talking about beef. Of course, the biggest story is the closing of the Tyson plant and the impact that has had on Lexington, Nebraska, another small city, possibly population between 5,000 and actually I think their population is smaller than 5,000.
I think it was like 5,000 and like 3,000 of them worked at the plant.
Exactly. So again, what does this mean for the smaller towns and cities that possibly voted for Pillin? I'm gonna just put that out there. But anywho, the beef situation is getting even worse now that we've had the state's largest fire, which could possibly drive prices up. Again, Western Central Nebraska are battling the biggest fires in state history, and those working with cattle are taking a big hit. One smaller area in Nebraska, Wahoo, is also again the Wahoo Meat Locker. Manager Connor Emsweiler tries to keep prices low for his products by shopping the wholesale beef. He said the Wahoo Wiener made of pork beef is his most popular seller. However, anyone who ever lived here or around here, they moved here, they ever back in town, they're going to hit a Wahoo Locker for Wahoo Wieners. But again, customers in store are already feeling the squeeze of higher prices, meaning again his income is lower. As if the loss of grazing land was not bad enough, ranchers are also saying their hay and other feed is lost or damaged. And Wilders expects more customers to skip beef altogether. So again, beef is in shambles. Hey, what about corn? Let's talk about corn. Maybe corn can save us, huh? Especially in all these oil prices going up, good old ethanol gas can maybe save us from a lot of issues, right? Not so fast, my friend. Nebraska Examiner reports war in Middle East causes further stress on U.S. farmers. Corn farmers in the U.S. are bracing for even higher, get this, fertilizer prices as conflict in the Middle East impacts the globally traded commodity, according to leaders with the National Corn Growers Association. Corn farmers are approaching a fourth year of negative yields due to low corn prices and high impact costs, including fertilizer. The Growers Association renewed its call on Congress to legalize year-round nationwide E15, which of course is the higher blend of ethanol fuel for the removal of duties on fertilizer from Morocco. But of course, now the conflict in the Middle East has further complicated access to those critical fertilizers. That's according to McKinney, who's with the Texas A&M University Food Policy Center. So again, some of the main industries that these smaller towns are relying on are going by the wayside, while they could possibly lose funding as a part of this proposal to stop the bleeding.
Shout out to Miss Erica Felt, who posted this in Friends of First Guy Omaha. It's a picture of Walmart on 99th.
I didn't even make that connection. I didn't even think about that.
Haven't dug into this to see why you can't buy any meat at Walmart on 99th, but maybe what we're talking about has something to do with it. Just saying. Not that I was buying meat like that, because of the prices. We ain't even talking about the price of beef that you can find. This is pretty interesting what's going on here. I'd love to hear from you, the chat. Anybody who's in the agricultural industry too. I don't think we talked to many people who are in agriculture here. But it is interesting to try to find out what's happening on that front if you are associated with it. Ariel's 402, you cracking me up. He said Prigus want to bankrupt the state so his family can buy it at the bottom. That'd be interesting. That's an interesting speculation there. Ascender KML in the chat says, buddy, facts. Also, hope you feel better. You sound like I did last week. Yeah, you got a little frog in the throat.
Something. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in as well. Also, Marlon Harrison says they don't want people of color to make money. Okay.
Okay.
It's interesting when I see stuff like what Marlon just said. Also, what Ariel's 402 just said. Mayor Sanchez said he want to bankrupt the state so his family can buy it at the bottom. It's interesting to listen to those kinds of comments because it's really reflective of how people are feeling about what's happening here. Because you feel that things are unfair. You feel like you can make these connections by looking at prices, looking at plants shutting down, everything that's happening, and it doesn't feel. We don't have the feeling that the state is trying to help that as much as they are focused on other things, I should say.
The great grip is on.
It does feel like that. It does feel like that a lot. So I definitely want to look in to see, as far as agriculture is concerned, historically, I feel like they have always tried to, halfway take care of rural Nebraska and the agricultural scene and beef and everything else. I mean, they've been real heavy on beef. I mean, just think about Omaha steaks. Just think about what we're known for here, bro. I heard they hair cutting over at Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it, but it was heavily reported when it went down. I think they were pulling their supplies from restaurants and like changing their whole business model.
Right.
There's some shifts going on.
In crisis for sure. We appreciate that. Definitely love to hear more thoughts on that. 909 right now if you believe in the concept of time and you live in Omaha, Nebraska. And that's the time. And we are anticipating shortly our visit from the senators, Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Ashley Spivey. It is Senators Cypher Monday. This is the reason why we start late. We go from 8 to 10. If you're wondering why we're still on at 9:10, it's because we're not running late today. We're actually on time. So we're going to go till 10 o'clock today and talk about some of these things as well. We got a lot more to get into, but we appreciate everybody's comments. I'm seeing Anthony Rogers Rice says urban AG folk are also being impacted. Talking about urban agricultural
Mm-hmm.
People doing some things, definitely getting impacted big time. Tony Johnson says the news attributed meat shortages recent to low cattle numbers and trucking logistic issues. I'm sure that those are symptoms of some of the things that some of the some of the things that happen because of the problem. But that's and then adding to the problem, compounding the problem as well.
I think
Yeah.
he's talking about the meat in Walmart, not the shortages.
Okay. The shortage in Walmart. You're saying is that okay? It's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about why that is the case yet. I just saw that Miss Erica Feld posted that.
Low
Anthony
cattle
Rogers
numbers.
says, but it's a good thing that that the Iranian blockage is resulting in the use of less fertilizer. Maybe it's time for farmers to transition how they produce food in ways that don't rely on fossil fuels.
Okay.
Good thoughts. Yeah. He says start buying your beef from the Winnebago tribe. It's the best beef in the state anyway. Good suggestion.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
suggestion indeed.
I
If
like
you're on
that.
that, if you're on that,
Yeah, I like that.
I do. Yeah, that's a yeah. Had no idea. That's a great suggestion though to look into because we always get to this point in the show where we're like, what do we do? What can we do differently? How can we support and so on? There is some stuff here that the state's going to have to really do though that is is beyond, especially when you got major plants shutting down, major small
Man,
cities.
shutting
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah. Craziness. Appreciate that. This story as well. Keeping an eye on all those things, and appreciate your comments, especially Anthony Rogers right here with this this solution. It's buy from the Winnebago tribe, and we there is alternatives. There's other things that we can do, other places we can buy, but of course we still have to look into following the money when it comes to where these places are even going. Are there even jobs here for it? Is the agricultural industry on the decline here because of what's happening here? While we have a governor who has the largest pig farm in the Midwest. We talked to the brother who's over at the Inland Port Authority a couple weeks back, brother Gary Clark, and he had a great suggestion about some of the industry that can be brought to the Inland Port Authority, which had to do with making airplane fuel, jet fuel, because you make it from ag, you can tie it together. Might be something that our state needs to really get into heavily to also enhance what we're doing here in the state instead of going broke. There's other things that we can use besides cannabis, besides hemp, besides there's all kinds of things that we can do to increase the money that comes here too. If we can concentrate on some of those things, might be good. So there's people out there that are giving suggestions as well, and trying to figure out how to circumvent some of these things. And I know that we do a lot of reporting on what's being taken away in order to take care of this budget. But if anybody has any more information on how it is what it is they're trying to do to build more money up, because isn't that part of the equation as well? Making more money, to make more money for the state, to make more money for plants to be here, for jobs to be thriving, for living wages to happen in order for you to be able to buy some of the housing that we're talking about that's being built, that's being provided. It's so tied in together. It's like, where do we go with that? So often we talk about making money in the state means building more prisons.
Right. I mean that
Right.
seems like the only direction they want to go. You know what I mean? Because yeah. I mean, to RG actually commented, and I appreciate his comments. I didn't really think about it when we talk about the medical marijuana situation, and you think about the revenue that could be made from taxing and fees and just all of that. But I didn't even think about cannabis as a crop. RG in the chat says, excuse me, when Nebraska farmers struggling, why don't they jump on board with this as a cash crop? So again, talk about medical marijuana being used as a cash crop. Didn't really think about that. How can that impact the agricultural side of things and the use of hemp development for fibers and other development? How can that change the game? As far as money,
Bro,
revenue.
they trying to criminalize doctors that even suggest to do medical marijuana. We ain't nowhere near being able to it being an industry for farmers yet.
It's crazy.
It is. 9:15. If you believe in the concept of time, again, we appreciate you guys joining us today. Get your questions ready. We are anticipating the senators to come on here in the next few minutes. So I'll get ready to speak to Senator Ashley Spivey, Senator Terrell McKinney, everybody else. And we appreciate you guys joining in on the conversation here just to talk about that. But we're going to pivot and get to some other things that are tied to what it is we've been talking about here. But stay tuned.
Yes.
We'll be right back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God.
Life, watching early mornings turn to late nights. Life's a trip. I'm Luigi trying to lay the pipe. Hit it with the mules. You only left because you ain't do it right. Think I'm dropping free game. Please excuse me. Even my 2 cents can make your dreams more lucid. Hallelujah, not from the A, but I'm the future. Trying to keep my metro booming. Hope they don't deal and roof them. Think I'm about to cop the new Glock or the Ruger. Be a little like Malcolm. Missing out all intruders. Still GVO, but I just might lose it. Not talking Eddie Griffin, but these dudes acting foolish. Just want the crib, big yard for my junior. 1 or 2 whips, plus the drop for the cruising. A little peace of mind, king size for the snoozing. Low key, I want it all. You can tell from how I'm moving, and I'm living like what you living like. You know I'm living life. Are you living right? But you're living right, right. But you're living right. What you living like? You know I'm living life. Are you living right? But you're living right. But you're living right.
Right. We're back. First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddy the God.
Hey.
It's one of my favorite songs of yours of all time.
Hey, thank you. Forgot about that.
Hot. Yeah, Facebook gonna block.
Yeah, I need to do a video to that.
Yes, you do. Right on. Appreciate you guys coming on in and talking about some of these things here. Nebraska Farmers Union strongly supports medical. There you go.
Come on, man.
I know they
Make
do.
it make sense.
I know they do, for real. Ariel's 402 says cannabis is for eating and drinking. Hemp is for textiles, oil, etc.
There you go. Come on.
They need to make it all legal.
Make it make sense.
Also, shout out Ariel's 402. Mayor Sanchez made us remember that they use marijuana as a derogatory term. So that's why he stresses cannabis, and we keep on doing that as well. We appreciate you reminding us on that. Although I will say every time I hear the word marijuana, it never strikes any negative nothing to me, but me personally. But yeah, it was a term that came up to be derogatory towards Mexican people and try to criminalize all of it. And it's a word they use when they want to do that. So yeah, we'll stick with the actual scientific term cannabis. We're cool with that. But again, man, it's too bad because I have positive feelings, positive thoughts when I hear anyway.
Actually, that kind of makes me think about something. The use of that word, stemming from a little white fear.
Ooh. Like Yo.
Yeah.
PBS,
yeah, man.
PBS coming for their neck on this one, bro. PBS. No wonder they mad at PBS. No wonder they try to take money away from PBS.
Try to defund PBS. Because they bringing it like that. Yeah. For those who don't know, the war on drugs, which we're in now, the second iteration of the war on drugs, with this whole situation going on in the Caribbean, which we'll have to talk about at some point. But there's a lot to this whole use of the word marijuana and cannabis, and again, the word marijuana attempting to tie the drug to Hispanic and Latin communities, and trying to stigmatize the drug and trying to build a whole fear-based campaign around the drug. And this is just par for the course for some of the rhetoric that we've seen throughout history in this country. And this is exactly what this documentary talks about. Actually, I still have the trailer up. You want to play that? What you think? Yeah. I got it, man. Y'all gotta check this out, man. Shout out to PBS bringing it like this.
Man, shout out to PBS on a limited budget.
Black Lives Matter is a Marxist organization.
How many innocent Americans have these people hurt?
Fear is the best motivator.
When Mexico sends its people
invading, they're murdering, they're raping.
How many moms are grieving because of our sanctuary cities?
You don't have to talk about politics. You have to talk about how the brain of the human works.
Critical race theory is poison.
These people hate white people.
There is now a white fear industrial complex.
Mexican criminals, Black Lives Matter terrorists,
Radical Islamic terrorism.
Where many people get very rich and very powerful by telling white America that they are under constant assault.
They want to steal your liberty, your freedom.
I want surveillance of certain mosques.
This is strategic racism.
We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob.
Tapping into white grievance and anxiety.
I mean, you're just overwhelmed by the lies.
Chaos in the streets, in the schools.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
If you put out information and you have force multipliers that just drive it, people will start to absorb it themselves.
This country is being invaded.
When you're scared, you fight back.
We want our country back.
White supremacist protests turned violent.
Panic in El Paso this morning.
Motivated by anti-immigrant hatred.
13 people were shot, 10 of them killed.
He specifically targeted black people.
We're under fire.
All right.
There you go. And I mean, it eerily, reminds me of tropes that were touched on in My Omaha. I mean, this is the same conversation.
Powerful. This is why we do what we do. Film can be extremely powerful in this thing. And as these reports come out about this film, it says unflinching. Shout out to PBS, bro. Shout out to PBS. I've been seeing this logo all my life. Shout out to PBS. In the midst of us feeling like things are going away, things are being defunded. There's an attack on public broadcasting, attack on public news, public media. They come back hard like this. Like, come on. If I was gonna make a documentary, this is what it would be. Shout out to PBS, bro. I highly suggest you check it out. We looked up on YouTube. You can actually order it on YouTube. You can rent it from YouTube or whatever from the movies, YouTube movies. But definitely look at your PBS channels and local PBS channel over here is NET. Look around, see if you can find this. This is going to be one of those ones. I'm actually going to speak out to Film Streams and see if they want to try to get it in and get a panel going.
Hey.
Unflinching. That's the word that keeps on jumping out my mind from the reviews of this movie. Cannot wait to check it out.
If anybody from Film Stream is watching, I gotta be on that panel.
Word.
I gotta be on that panel. Yeah.
Word,
yeah. My Dr. Francis Chris Wilson, you know what I'm saying? ISIS papers too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
There you go. What say you? Marlon Harris in the chat says they love to say people of color are destroying this country, but won't address school shootings and the mental health crisis in America.
Induced by fear.
There you go. RG is still waiting on a concrete definition of critical race theory.
Don't hold your breath, bro.
Tony Johnson says opposition groups should match this energy with their message on key issues. Delivery tends to be dry, and we know that does not get people interested. If it should not be the case, but it is what it is. It's interesting that you say that because I'm in both worlds a little bit, and I'm seeing how it is real tough for groups to come that powerfully. The art only comes that powerfully,
man.
So that's why we lean in the direction we do on these issues here, because there's no way for you to get you have to use art to get people riled up that much. You can have a group and put out your agenda and lay out why you're doing what you're doing, and even come on speak about it passionately, but it's not going to hit you with the energy of a film like that.
No, and it has to be discussed. Actually, before our guests come on, there was one last story I want to eke in and connect to this whole concept of white fear, and we got to talk about it, man, because it's ridiculous. Let's just call it what it is. But ICE taking over for TSA, man. Yeah, I mean this whole proliferation of ICE is wholeheartedly based in this whole white fear complex. This mass immigration, which is really re-immigration. If you know what that is, look into that. The Office of Re-Immigration, I do believe, has something to do with this. And the fact that, Paul, you're mentioning, our travel being restricted, it all deals with, the fear of you won't replace me. The fear of being a minority by what 2030, I think is now the line keeps getting closer and closer. But many agencies reporting on this. If you haven't heard, yes, I said it correctly. And actually, it might even be in action now. I don't know if anybody's on the way to the airport today, but ICE might be there as we speak. This what I'm reporting or reading is a report from BBC. As again, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, aka ICE agents, are being sent to airports to help with increasingly long lines at security checkpoints. That's according to the Trump administration, who made the announcement on Friday via a post on, I believe, Truth Media, Truth Social, saying again that ICE agents will go to airports on Monday while borders are. Tom Homan tells CNN that his team was working out the details of the plan. Again, this is all in response to the partial shutdown that has led to, as you see on your screen, massive lines in airports. I think it was reported down here in Atlanta, one of the nation's busiest international airports. They had waits of approximately 2 hours, over 2 hours, 150-minute plus waits for TSA lines. Lines literally out the doors of some of these airports. It's definitely putting a hamper, if you will, on travel. And if you remember the last shutdown that we had, the whole travel lobby was really what pushed it, what kind of flipped those 8 or so Democrats who were holding the line. It was if you remember, the airline lobby that kind of leaned on them and got them to cross the line. So again, here we are now with this partial shutdown. Now weeks into it and feeling the brunt. Travel. What say you? Anybody planning on traveling? Anybody traveled recently? I know Anthony Rogers, right? You do a lot of traveling. A few people, other people in the chat move around a bit. What say you?
So today is the day. They've been threatening this all week, last week and this weekend. Today is the day that they move in there. My first thoughts, of course, are since we're in the government shutdown, that means the TSA workers aren't getting paid, haven't been getting paid over the last 2 months now. And instead of solving this and paying them, somebody got the genius idea. You know what? This would be a perfect opportunity for us to be policing the who comes in and out. Let's send ICE over there and have them do their job over there. And that'll assist TSA. That's what cracked me. Every headline I'm seeing around here is saying to assist TSA at airports amid DHA shutdown, which is crazy. Like, how about opening the government back up? Why are we in this shutdown? Why is it? Why? We're in the shutdown partially because of what's going on with ICE and the opposition. So while we're here, they're going to continue to use ICE, instead of debate these issues and get to the point where they can compromise on whatever they need to compromise to get the government back open when it comes to this. But there's probably going to be no compromise when it comes to that. And then this is furthering that divide when it comes to what a lot of folks that are fighting about. ICE being in spaces and doing things that they got no rights and should be doing, and now they're going to be in your airports messing with you. You already had a problem with your real ID and your passport, and we've slowly baked into our situation here travel restrictions, which if anybody knows anything about history, is a major step to what it is that they're trying to do here with this fascism, really.
Authoritarianism.
It's authoritarianism. Travel restrictions. There's a lot of countries right now you can't go to because they're like, nah, you wouldn't need no Americans over here with what's going on.
Man, that part too.
There's the restrictions that was happening about whether or not if you have we reported this maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. If you have dual citizenship somewhere, now you're being extra checked and restricted on a few things as well. Things changed with the passports. You all of a sudden you really needed to have your papers, and then they started making some new rules and making it harder for you to get your passport. We had an ID. You have your driver's license, but that's not good enough. You got to get the real ID. You got to get that stamp on your real ID now, so that you can be tracked. And then how many times have it's been about a year now, as a matter of fact, I feel like, where it's an issue. If you go to the airport, you got to make sure that you have all your stuff straight. There was only a few airports that was not letting you get through with a real ID. Now most will not let you fly without a real ID.
Yep.
So slowly over this course of this year, it's been baked in this idea that we are that our travel is getting restricted, and now this is some of the biggest restrictions of all right here. If you scared to go to the airport because ICE is there, how much movement is going to happen now?
I just remember something. What weren't they trying to get ICE in the airports back in the summer? Like, didn't they have some kind of warning or like some kind of directive that they try to push through the air? But the airports was like, nah, we're not going for that.
Well,
I'm just this is kind of coming back to me. If anybody remembers what I'm talking about, please
yeah.
let me know in the chat.
Well, I could see the airports being like, well, we need the help. TSA's because TSA chiming up this time too. They like
Man,
before we used to call off. Now we ain't coming in until we get paid. Like a lot of that is going down, which is the reason why we had these lines. So
if I was TSA, I would feel some kind of way because first of all, I'm not getting paid because of what y'all idiots are doing in the streets. Let's just start there. I'm not getting paid because of what y'all are doing in the streets, and y'all got to be defunded. And now y'all taking my job.
well, again, laws. We got to figure out what we're gonna do about them. Luckily, we have some legislators. We got some legislators in the room, so we'll go ahead and bring our guest in. Again, this is Monday Senators Cypher, and we're able to talk to our senators. So get your questions ready, ladies and gentlemen. We got Senator Terrell McKinney in the house. Hey, good morning to you, bro.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
I'm doing
Good,
all right.
man.
Doing all right. It's a Monday.
We was trying to get out of town, but now we don't know if we want to go to the airport.
Hey,
Right.
we're on lockdown. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Just cooling here at the legislature. Just checked in, so I'm straight.
Okay, what's the
Okay.
vibe there today? Anything?
Yeah.
Any
What's the temperature?
dramatics?
Um, Nothing yet has popped off. We're going through consent calendar bills, so nothing too controversial yet coming up, but there are a few bills that's on the agenda that's probably going to end up in some long discussions around the taxes, tax breaks, and making sure a bill gets cut out of another bill that deals with youth and YRTC. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Before we get jumping in here, man, I saw that you put out this your legislative
Newsletter.
Yeah, which I
I like
appreciate
that.
the updates. Yeah, this is I'm highly encouraging everybody to kind of go to your page and check this out because you're detailing a lot of things that's happening with that District 11 legislative updates. Definitely go check this out on your page. And the way that you have laid out a lot of the bills that are need some updates on. This one is for committee updates, but you have other bills here. 962 adopt the Youth Reentry and Transitional Support Act. This is talking about it. This is advancing to general file. I love how you lay this out too. What's happening with it and what it is. We're learning. Also, here's 1135 change provision of Nebraska Municipal Land Bank Act. Again, where it's at, advance to select file, and then talking about what the bill is. And lastly, LB 1114 change provisions related to eligibility of redevelopment plans for expedited review under the community development law. So again, explaining what these are, and these are bills these are your bills, right? Or these are bills that you want us to pay attention to.
962 is my senator priority bill, and 1114 and 1135 are Urban Affairs Committee priorities, which I'm the chair of. And then the other bills that you showed are my bills as well.
The ones that are committee updates. Right
Yeah.
on. Okay, cool. Okay, so if you guys have not tapped in, please tap into that newsletter. It definitely gives us some context in between the weeks that we get to talk to you guys. Before we get to our questions, though, tell us what bills are on your mind right now. Is heavy debate happening, or wherever it is that you are trying to be strategic in making a move on what's happening right now?
For me, my focus is to try to get all those bills that you just had up there passed. I think we're getting some good traction on all of them. So that's really been my focus, is just try to, put my head down and do a lot of the work to try to resolve any issues that people might have with the bills and see where we could find some compromises and actually get some things moving across the finish line. So that's been my focus. I know it's a lot of other stuff, as well. Our budget it failed on the first round last week, so that's going to come up. And just that alone is going to take up a lot of time, and it's going to make it hard for a lot of things to move forward. So that's why I'm happy a couple of those bills are already moving forward, because this budget and these taxes are going to take up a lot of time, and we don't have a lot of days left to address them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds good. For those of you that are listening in, you're hearing some of these digital anomalies. It's kind of just want to ask you to bear with us on that. I'm starting to really think that they got this. Only happens with y'all. I'm really starting to think that somebody sabotaging something, bro. For real, like for real. It only happens with you,
I
and
swear.
it's happened in different spots. It's happened in different spots. Like when Senator Spivey was at home doing it, we were hearing the same. We were hearing the same things, and it only happens with y'all. So it very well could be, these gremlins over here on purpose try to mess up the broadcast. So I'm telling people, ignore them. We trying to hear what your brother got to say. Ignore that stuff, and we'll dive into it. What you looking at over there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these bills. Now we're looking at the priority bills and some of the bills that you just laid out for your newsletter, and one of which was really jumping out to me. This racial profiling, change the membership of the Racial Profiling Advisory Committee in Nebraska Children's Commission. You're trying to get some members of the Commission on African American Affairs on these commissions. Can you kind of speak to that? That's something I haven't really thought about as far as the Racial Profiling Advisory Committee and some of these other things. Can you kind of speak to those moves?
Yeah, it's a big thing about representation and making sure we got our voices in the room at the table. The racial profiling committee does not have a designated rep from the African American Commission, but they do have, I think, a rep from the Native American Commission, and I think maybe the Latino one. So I wanted to make sure the African American Commission had a seat, and the Nebraska Children Commission as well, presentation from other commissions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Incredible. Hello, Linda Lathan gives us a hello. She said, "Been telling y'all that. Yeah, you've been saying we've been dealing with it." For those of you just joining us here, we're here with Senator Terrell McKinney and all of the gremlin anomalies that have been sabotaging his and Senator Spivey's interview. It only seems to happen with them too, wherever they're at. So again, please bear with us. I'm quite sure that he's working on getting back on, because that's what he usually does when it goes off. We still got some things we got to talk about. But shout out to Senator McKinney for trying to come back through with us, so we can make that happen. In the meantime, yeah, man, RG's, yeah, man, these specialized gremlins here, Pillin trying to tap in. I can't even look. We do this, bro. We're doing this for a living. We on 3 times a week, but we use this technology all week long for a lot of other things. This never happens with anybody else, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means. I don't be going in on all that, but it's these particular digital anomalies only happen with Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey.
Man, and you would think the state capitol would have some decent internet, some decent way to.
I'm not even. I don't expect that. I don't expect that they retrofitted the building with the technical aspects that they need in order to get more communication out to the people. I don't expect that that's what they're gonna do. But I will say this: the brother can be sitting in the car, and that'll happen. Senator Spivey has sat at her house with her kid running around, and it's happened. Everywhere they go, that particular digital anomaly happens. So I'm not sure. I didn't want the conversation wasn't supposed to go to this last part of the show. But yeah, we're going to figure something out. Looks like the brother's back home. Okay, cool. You back? You on your phone now?
I think so.
Okay, we can hear you. You're frozen, but we can hear you clear.
I moved to my lap. I was on my.
You was on your phone. Okay. Now you moved to the laptop. Okay.
What's going on in this place?
Yeah, we were just talking about it, man. Anyway, if you can hear us, we'll just we'll keep going because we can hear you. You're kind of frozen, but we can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah.
us? Okay. If you can hear us, we'll keep going.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, if you want to, you might try killing your screen, and then we'll just go audio because the screen will probably take up more bandwidth if you're trying to get the video across. I think he's stuck again.
Yeah, moving to that laptop might have did it.
Yeah. Apologize, y'all. We're gonna have to try to figure something else out. This is the same thing for Senator
Senator
Spivey too. She has she has problems trying to get on, and she can't get on from her office. She don't make it over there to Senator McKinney's office, then she can't get on either. That's why she didn't come last time. So, well, we might have to do something more in person, more recorded. We'll have to try to figure something out. We want to get with them live. So we might have to just try to set up something some elsewhere at another time is what we might have to do because this has been consistent with our Senators Cyphers pretty much every time they're on. Again, we've spoken to other senators. We've spoken to Senator Kavanaugh. We've spoken to Senator Roundtree. It's not. It doesn't happen with them. This is happening with these two in particular. So. Right on, bro, man. I appreciate you keep trying, man. If we lose you again, we'll just have to try to come in another situation here with you. But
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Let's try to cut the video and kind of keep it audio only.
I think he's back on his phone, so that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not. We'll just stick with you as long as we got you here.
All right.
So before you got cut off there, what were you saying to us? Do you remember what your last thing you were talking about?
We're talking about the racial profiling committee and representation on those committees.
Yeah, just making sure there was members of the commission on both of those committees, the racial profiling committee and the Nebraska's children commission. Racial profiling, speaks for itself. I think the children's commission does as well. Deals with our kids in the system, and we're disproportionately represented. So definitely a need.
Also speaking of that, I actually have been meaning to ask you. I saw that there was a application going out for your resource centers, the family resource centers, the legislation that you had passed. Can you kind of speak to the application process and what that's looking like? Has many centers signed up for that, or where are we in that process?
So the application process has just started. They probably should have put it out in September, but they delayed it because they didn't want to fund it. But now there will be the funding. It will be funded. So now they're seeking people to apply. So I'm hopeful. That was my priority last year to address family resources and make sure our juveniles are taken care of further upstream instead of waiting for them to make mistakes, putting systems and places in place that try to catch them and say, what can we do to help and get them and their families some resources. So I'm excited about it. And it kind of goes hand in hand with my priority bill this year too, 962, making sure that, when they are transitioning out of the system, that it's resources there to catch them to make sure they're more successful.
Right. And just for those who aren't familiar with just kind of family resource legislation and what some of these resource centers will provide, can you kind of speak to that? And also, if there's opportunity for looks like we lost them.
Wow.
Oh man. Okay.
What was it? What was the rest of your question? Opportunity for?
Yeah, opportunity for community organizations to possibly get state funding to provide resources for families because if I'm understanding correctly, this is an application for organizations and locations to be designated as a family resource center. Is that correct? I don't know if you heard all of that.
Yeah, that's correct. And resource centers would, be tasked with trying to address, whatever needs a family or a juvenile might need, whether that's, help finding a job, help with finding housing and those type of things. So mental health help. So different aspects, but just trying to have a space with more wraparound service location instead of having families and youth run around the city trying to find help. Have a space in a community where they could just go and know where to go to get the help.
It seems like it seems like this is pretty optimistic, positive changes that are movement there that's happening there. It seems like you're pretty happy about the movement there. You still there?
I'm still here.
What? Bro. Hey, bro, we gonna have to catch you later, man.
Hey, yo, it's the alien invasion.
Wow.
Take me to your leader.
They really are sabotaging us, man. That's crazy.
Take me to your leader.
Yeah, bro. We don't hear nothing but some digital garble. If you can hear us, let's try to start one more time so we can say our goodbyes.
Hey, who was that? That was Zorg. Just tapped in. Take me to your leader. Linda. I guess, Linda. I guess they hating. They hate us because they ain't us.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to make some changes here to Senators Cypher. We appreciate you bearing with us through that. We consider it a very important aspect of the show that we do here, so we'll have to try to figure out how we can get them another time. It might have to be another time in another space, more protected place. There are podcast studios and places around that are set up with the internet and are debugging constantly because of everything that's always happening. So we'll have to try to tap in and get busy there. So there you go. Yeah, putting the Ixnay on the broadcast. There it is.
Man, that was the first. Night.
Yeah, no, it's interesting being in music. I know exactly I know exactly the wavelengths that you would have to turn. This is that what we just heard, that alien sounding voice that we heard was him speaking through this modulator. And this is what on the movie Star Wars, when they're talking through radio modulation, they put this special modulator on so it'll sound like that. And I've done the research on exactly what that is. So I know that somebody has tampered with that particular modulation. That doesn't happen just automatically digitally when your signal gets low. Like that was something that was like it's like an effect. It's like a waves effect on your. Think about that, buddy. It's like one of them kind of effects. All right. Success.
Should I bring out my tinfoil? Should I?
It's under the bucket already, right? Ain't your bucket lined with the tinfoil?
Hey, come on, man! You can't be giving out all the secrets. You can't.
coming soon. The First Guy Omaha store. Paul B. Camera glasses, Buddy the God, tinfoil, bucket hats. It's going down. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging with us through that. Apologize for what just happened with the broadcast with the interview. We'll have to reconvene with Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Ashley Spivey, to make sure that this happens. Make sure that this doesn't happen, but make sure the interviews happen in the way they need to. We'll set something up. It'll probably end up being a different time frame because we'll have to be there physically to try to see if we can circumvent some of the restrictions that are there. But yeah, we'll work on it. We'll definitely work on it for sure. We do have we'll be doing the meetup with the mayor coming up as well. This is as far as future guests are concerned. We're looking at trying to get him on this week. We also have Miss Kimmer Snipes that'll be on Wednesday. So stay tuned for her. That'll be very interesting. And then a very interesting guest, Trevesia Marion, is going to be joining us on Friday. This is going to be Love Supreme Friday. She's an author, and we got she's writing a book called Visionary Tales. She's right now doing her book tour and everything with this book. So we got the information from my brother Leo Lewis. He put us in contact with this sister, so we're going to talk to her on Friday for a little Love Supreme Friday. And then of course, like I said, we are also going to have our monthly meetup with the mayor, possibly this week as well. And so far, so good as far as the mayor coming on. We haven't had no sabotage yet on his line.
Yeah. I'm trying to bring it to y'all, man. We trying to bring it. We trying
to make something happen. let's take a quick break, man, and just shake our heads a bit. And then come back. Yeah, we'll be right back. You listen to the First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, bro. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Take me to your leader.
Black. One move, we move. Just like that. Just one word. One move, we move. Just like that.
Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddy to God. Wait a minute, man. We got to set back up right. Shuffle the cards.
There
we go. That's unfortunate. Too bad. But
Yeah,
like
man.
I said, we're gonna keep on moving on that. We'll get these interviews one way or another. Be able to talk to them. So get your questions ready. We might have to take them to them for the next iteration of this.
Man,
this is the last week I'm gonna deal with the gremlins, bro.
Yeah,
we're gonna do something else.
that was different. I don't think I've ever had that one happen.
Yeah, we've had versions of that. Like I said, this is not the first time, and it only happens with them. So this is real crazy. But anyway, we appreciate you guys dealing with it with us. We still are going to push for wrapping some of these things up here at the end of the show. It is Monday, of course. We always talk about setting the intention for the week. If there's any events or anything that's happening, we know we got city council meeting that we probably need to definitely see if we can be involved in. At least check it out. If not, go. If you were going to go to city council right now, what would you ask them about? What would be your comments and questions? What would you try to get across to them? Even if you can't make it, what would be your idea? We know a lot of folks from city council do watch this show as well. So they might be able to not hear from you there tomorrow, but they can hear from you here today. So let us know in the chat. Of course, when we're not live, you can let us know at Friends of First Guy Omaha, the group page right now while it still works.
Man.
Yeah. Right. And we highly encourage you to go check out PBS, This White with Fear. This is definitely a movie that we're going to be talking about for sure. We're definitely going to be talking about, and of course, other issues as well. Shout out to Film Streams for running Grandma tomorrow. Last chance to get 2 tickets for Grandma, so you can do that by liking and subscribing at our YouTube page, and then going over to send us an email to let us know you did that at firstsky.omaha@gmail.com. And then we'll put your name in the group of other names, and then pick a winner. Free tickets to Grandma tomorrow at 6:30. It's not just the movie, but it'll be a panel of experts talking about the subjects that the movie addresses afterwards, and you can have a Q&A conversation with them and talk to them about that. I usually have like somebody who represents the film, and then also people that represent the organizations, the experts in the field of the conversation. So definitely check that out. Whether you get free tickets or not, support Film Streams. Tickets are always pretty cheap, and for what you get in this third space and more community conversation, can't beat it. So definitely check it out tomorrow, Tuesday, March 24th at Ruth Sokoloff Theater at 6:30. Definitely check out Grandma, and shout out to them for that, for real.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to look into it, but just a little background on that film deals with women's reproductive rights. It is still Women's Health Month, or Women's Month, Women's History Month. So yeah, just a little insight on that. I actually had one of the panelists in the chat earlier. So
yeah,
big shout out to everybody. Yeah, big shout out to everybody putting that together. Speaking of the chat, before we get out of here, I did want to acknowledge one comment from Brother Marlon Harrison, kind of tipping us off to some things to look out for. Now he says, speaking of prisons, you guys gotta get Commissioner Chris Rogers to come and talk about the new youth center. He spoke about it a little bit at the Empowerment Network. Excuse me. Empowerment Network event last week. Again, just while we're talking about city council and things like that, reminding us to also keep an ear out and keep an eye on what's going on with Douglas County and their commission and some of the meetings and moves and power that they have over there. So, a big shout out to Marlon Harrison for reminding us about that.
And we will reach out to brother Rogers again. We actually reached out to him during election time last time around. He said that when he gets through the other side of that, he'd talk to us. And so that we hadn't had a reason to follow up quite yet with him on that. But thanks for the reminder, and we will do that. Follow up with him and get him on the show and talk about what's going on there as well. So I have heard that too. There's a lot of people that are chiming up about the not letting people forget that there's this juvenile center that's sitting there kind of doing nothing and want to know what's going on with it as well. I've heard a couple of people ask the mayor about it too, by the way, too. So yeah, this is definitely something that's still on people's minds. So I appreciate that reminder. We'll definitely have him on for that. I love what Eros 402 is saying here too. There is a part in the brain that produces THC. That's why cannabis is medicinal. Everyone has THC in their blood, even if they have never consumed. Some of this, we've learned a lot. Of course, it's funny. I take it for granted now. Growing up in California, we was on all the scientific facts on this stuff in the 80s and 90s. So it's like it's second nature to think about that kind of thing now. Why there are actual medical reasons why this stuff is, what the argument is on stuff like medical marijuana or medical cannabis. And I think it's really interesting too that sometimes we're just coming to some of those things here, but if you talk to any medical experts around, especially those ones that are getting threatened, they've already done those research too, and let you know what's happening. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to mention, not really diving too deep into the article, but while we got some extra time, speaking of, medicinal and medications, we haven't really talked about it, but this retroactive Medicaid coverage possibly ending. I know you kind of pulled this up before, Paul. We might have to bring this back up in later episodes. But again, this is another thing that's happening in the state legislature, a fight to look out for, as the Nebraska's Department of Health and Human Services is now seeking to end retroactive coverage of Medicaid altogether, which some hospital experts are saying could be a disastrous impact. So again, something to look out for as we set our intentions on this Monday. Maybe bring it back later this week.
There you go. Right on. We're gonna go ahead and get going here. We appreciate you guys dealing with our second time change here. We go from 8 to 10 to accommodate the senators on every other Monday. So thanks for remembering that and coming through with the comments and the questions and the conversation too. Appreciate that. Marlon Harrison says one of the things that Commissioner Chris Rogers talked about is how DCYC numbers went from 317 youth in 2005 to 68 youth as February 2026. Okay, that's a huge drop in number. Maybe they don't need another facility.
Where are they? Like the other youth being housed? Are
they being housed elsewhere, or is there numbers of people being housed dropped?
I don't know. That's pretty low. 68 youth.
I mean, if that's all that's in there, then they definitely don't need another facility.
I have to look into it.
There it is. We appreciate you guys again. Join us on Wednesday. We'll be talking to Miss Kimra Snipes. We also have a tentative Dan Osborne that's going to be here this week as well. And then, of course, we already talked about our monthly meetup with the mayor is possibly this week as well. So we might have a lot of guests and double guests on certain days and all kinds of stuff going on. Stay tuned with us. We'll be back at our regular time, 7 to 9. I am going to put a survey out this week for the weekly wrap on Friday. We're going to do a survey on moving the time, official one. So I've gotten an unofficial number so far. Somebody else said today they like the 7. So I'll definitely put that out. So be looking for that in the weekly wrap. And if you guys have not signed up to the weekly wrap yet, I'm not seeing numbers move on that. So we need more people to sign up to the weekly wrap. Because the weekly wrap is definitely where we're leaning towards weekly wrap and the website in order to have our, to really solidify our communication, centralize our communication, because we do not know what's going to be happening with social media channels and the changes that are being made there with AI and everything else that we've been talking about, how they track you and everything through these things, and they're starting to track content as well. And it's a matter of time before they start hitting live, because they know how much damage live can do. So,
yeah, man, haven't really talked about it. I saw the post. I think you shared it about IRS going after nonprofits now.
The IRS is going after nonprofits. Yeah, we'll have, like I said, we'll definitely have, we got to get to it. We got to get to all the reasons why. The things that we use is of course where we start. We have to start at the things that we use mostly. So I don't know how many people are still using Twitter, but you know that First Guy Omaha is not on Twitter or X anymore because of what's going on over there. Just like we would never broadcast on Truth on Trump's site. You know, it really is that way. But of course, when you know about the Broligarchs, when you know who owns Twitter, when you know who owns Facebook, Meta, TikTok, all of it is either Trump or his friends or family that own it. So yeah, stuff like this happening today is not a surprise. I mean, this is the reason why every day we're digging in and doing the research on where it is, how it is that we're going to communicate with each other when any of this stuff starts to go the way it's looking like it's going. Got to happen. So we'll continue to put those surveys out too. Let us know. Again, let's do it on the newsletter. Definitely check out the weekly wrap that we drop on Fridays. We're going to put a little bit more effort into some of those things there. You can already check out weekly wrap and see what's going on as far as the articles are concerned that we're talking about each week, and some of the goings on as well. But now it's time for us to really kind of communicate back and forth. So we're going to have more surveys on the weekly wrap, more opportunities for you to speak up and talk about some of these issues, and more opportunity for you to talk about your preferences on how we communicate. And that's going to be the big question here coming up. So with that, it's 10:01 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, if you're in Omaha, Nebraska, supposed to be a fairly decent weather out here. It's still a little bit cool. It got cool again after 92. So you never know. Like I said, just bring your shawl, bring your sweater, bring your jogging shorts, bring your tennis shoes, bring your raincoat, bring a beanie, but also a 3-piece suit.
Might have to get those breakaway pants. You remember those pants that they unzipping the shorts?
Breakaway pants.
You never know. You got to be prepared.
Take care of yourselves, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Senator McKinney for, trying to fight through the gremlins to speak to the people. Speaking of newsletters, definitely check out his legislative newsletter on Facebook and other social media sites, letting you know of all the things going on as far as bills he's pushing, and also things going through the committee on which he chairs. So again, big shout outs to Senator Terrell McKinney doing his job, man, letting the people know what's going on, representing the people in the right way, man. So we'll figure out what's going on with this Senator Cypher and get it right, because it's important that all of you have access to your elected officials. That's what all of this is about. Getting down to the nitty gritty of it all, man. So we appreciate everybody getting down with us, and hopefully we can do this again on Wednesday. Again, we do have a special guest, Sister Kimmer Snipes, coming through. So definitely look forward to that conversation. Have your questions ready. And see us next time, man. So in the meantime, between time, we appreciate you. We love you. And more importantly, we thank you for your continued support. Definitely make sure you check us out on our weekly wrap. Also visit our website, firstguyomaha.com. And with that, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away.
Right on, man. Just want to let everybody remind everybody, healthcare coming up on the 28th from 8 to 1. Definitely go there and get your free screening. And shout out to RG for making sure that we stay on top of this. It's going to be at 4410 North 36th Street at the Omaha North High. You know where North High is at. Definitely go check it out. Free screening, resources, and activities for all families. So definitely come on through Saturday, March 28th from 8 to 1. Get your screen on for real. Don't forget, if you're going to be voting by mail, get your plan together. This is something that the Democratic Party has put out here to remind us on that. Make your own list of things that are happening. Vote by mail. This is going to all have to happen between April 13th and May 12th. Check your registration and request your Democratic ballot. Watch your mailbox. These are all things that you need to put on your list here for what you need to do. And if you're planning on voting by mail, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then don't forget, this is election season. Shout out to Precious McKesson, who put the idea in our heads to do 6 to dismiss. But don't forget about the 7th, Don Bacon's seat, who's going to be in that Brother Preston Love Jr. came on the show last week a couple weeks ago and let us know that that's an important seat to get in, and some of the players that are supposed to be trying to get in there as well. So if you missed that episode, go back and check it out on YouTube. Very, very great information. We'll try to summarize some of that and put it on the website so that you can kind of know what's happening there too. It's really time for us to get to know these candidates that are in these seats that we would love to see people replaced with.
Man.
So we'll continue with that, and again, we appreciate everybody coming through. RG says, "Bring your shorts with the duck boots and the windbreaker."
And the shiesty.
You gotta bring it all. You gotta bring it all if you're going outside. You're gonna bring it all.
And a poncho.
There you go. Poncho. There you go. I appreciate you guys joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday. Take care of yourself. Shout out to the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you, and shout out to you, the Chatchimers, allowing us to speak with you. Also being a part of the show, being our co-host, being our research team, and bearing with us alongside with us with all the technical difficulties that we have going live. But and for those of you that stick live and come live with us and stay live the whole show, it's a powerful thing when it comes to social media. Live is kind of the only thing that's happening right now that is authentic. This is the most authentic that we can be on social media right here, is to be live together and be speaking real time. So until they cut that off, let's continue to take advantage of it. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, and also support the efforts as well. If you go to First Sky Omaha, hit the join button and become a member of the channel. Shout out to the $10 people, the $25 people, and the $50 people. Really appreciate you guys becoming members of the channel in order to help support this. And if you have any advertising needs as well, you can also hit us up, firstsky.omaha@gmail.com. This is another way that we are trying to fund this effort. So if you think this effort is valuable and you want to help us do that, please do that. First of all, you can just spread the word, let people know, share the show on your page. Also, you can become a member or a sponsor on the page. And also you can do business with us too on a higher level in order to get the word out about your particular message. So with that, we're going to get out of here. I see Herbine saying peace and love. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate everybody that came through here and hung with us late. And we will see you Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red